Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently still consolidating here on the daily time frame between these two lines, which actually act as support and resistance. It's not so much, there's not so much any change on the daily chart, right? But on the smaller time frames, it's actually working out really nicely. It followed the microstructure that we talked about in the previous videos over the last few days really nicely. Support levels did hold. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute. But here, first of all, for anybody who's new on the channel, the idea is that we are possibly already in the fifth wave. The idea is that we should land somewhere between 85 to 90K. I mean, can always extend further, yeah, but that is the idea in this fifth wave based on all the data that I've got right now. We'll see how that all comes together. It might stretch out higher, it might extend higher, but that's at the moment just sort of a guideline target. Eventually, I mean, in the bull run, we should move above 100K, right? That is the idea. In the short term, it is a little bit unclear if we are still in this fourth wave, but current movements on the Bitcoin chart make it more and more likely that we've already bottomed. As I said to you, I'm working based on the assumption that we have bottomed in the fourth wave, but only as long as micro support levels are holding. Well, they did all hold in the last few days. So at the moment, I am still considering that we've bottomed, even though I don't like the structure to the upside. So we are not out of the woods. We are not out of the woods. So the idea is that this here is developing as some kind of a five-wave pattern to the upside. We will need to see where it ends. If this stretches out as indicated, then it should take us at least to 76K. And then we will need to see how long, or, I mean, it can always extend higher, right? So if it, for example, stretches to 85 to 90K, then this could be all of wave 5 of 3. If it ends around 76K, then I will probably lean to the idea that this is only wave 1 of 5. There will be a wave 2, then there will be a wave 3, 4, 5, and that can take us possibly to 100K. And now let's go to the shorter time frame. Before we do that, quick reminder on X, Twitter, follow us there if you're interested in additional content, Bitcoin updates, all sorts of stuff to be found here. What we've launched today, or question I'm asking there, is if you're interested in a certain crypto that you want me to cover, and based on these, depending on, if there are certain clusters, we will send the poll out here on X. And then on Saturday, there will be, again, one specific video based on, your requests, just here on X. So feel free to check it out. Just make sure if you follow us here, please only use follow only the correct account, yeah? Don't follow any scammers or impersonators. So let's go back to the shorter time frame count. Here you can actually see this microstructure, and you can see the wave count in yellow, which is the count that I'm following on the micro level. That suggests that we could have already bottomed in wave 4. I've still labeled it here as alternative. I wouldn't even focus on that if it's labeled as alternative or primary. The idea is that we focus on higher prices as long as support levels are holding. First of all, on this chart, we have our main support area. This has been with us for a couple of months, very stable, never broken. Therefore, the overall bullish perspective is valid. Now, as we're moving higher, there is another micro support area, which is sort of you could say the upper support area. This is micro support that needs to hold to keep the yellow wave count alive, that we could form these 5 waves that I've just shown you on the daily time frame. And here the key level is 64,380. As long as that level is holding, I'm focusing on higher. However, we're already actually a step beyond that, because the idea is that within this 5-wave move, wave 4 might have bottomed already, and I'm now tracking this 5th wave to the upside. I have to tidy this up a little bit so we see it a little bit better. I'm now tracking this 5th wave to the upside. And I'm tracking this 5th wave as long as we're holding above 67,200. So you could say within this micro support area, there is another even smaller support area, which supports the microstructure that's developing here. In my previous video earlier today, I highlighted to you that we've seen these 5 waves that I've been waiting for. I did have another support area here. The price used it to reverse. I've taken that off the chart. We don't need that anymore. But in the previous video, I shared with you all the levels, taken them off the chart now because it seems like these 5 waves have indeed from the top now where they needed to. I explained to you that if we break below this 50% retracement, that's our signal support at 69,430. And if that level breaks, then this would be our signal that the B wave pullback has started. After 5 waves up in wave A of 5 topped, this here could now be a B wave pullback, which would be an ABC structure in itself. And I'm now tracking the B wave rally in the B wave pullback. Hope that makes sense. And then from there, as long as we're holding 67,200, we could rally in wave C to 76.4K. For anybody who's not so familiar with Elliott Wave, or if that's too complicated for you, it's very simple. Just look at the levels. As long as we're holding 67,200, I'm going to lean towards direct upside in wave C of 5 towards 76.4K. Very, very important that we're not breaking below this level, because this would be too deep for a B wave. Yeah. Invalidation point is down here. That's the 23rd of May low at around 66,300. I mean, already below the support zone here, alternative wave counts need to be considered. But so far this has come together nicely. I shared with you this 1-2 setup. It developed the 3rd wave, 4th wave pullback, 5th wave all happened. It's nice. And then also the pullback that we've been waiting for. Yeah. Obviously, it now takes a clearer 3-wave move. If it continues to rally from here, then it might just be an extension of the A wave, as I've highlighted here in orange. Okay. But let me take that off the chart, because at the moment I'm working on the assumption that here on the micro level, it actually topped in this yellow A wave, and that this yellow B wave is now, unfolding. This could only be, I mean, my opinion I have to change my opinion if there's a break above that, the intraday high at 70,620. I have also added standard resistance. This is really only standard resistance for a B wave. It's between 69,830 and 70,280. But B waves sometimes like to overshoot, so that's just really as a guide. So hopefully that makes sense. Hope you liked the update about Bitcoin. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.